That's good enough. We could chop it up in here. That'll do. Ah, gosh. Oh. I have to tune so you can hear me. If I don't tune, you probably couldn't hear me. But welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. This is Big Pontiac, your host. I am the holder of the sacred infinite ball game created by the Hero Twins. And I am also that one and only galactic daddy-o coming to you from my galactic patio, which reaches from Minnesota to the universe. And you know me, tonight's special beer is the beer I drink most nights when I drink, and that is Boulder Beer Shake. And because of Oktoberfest, you know I've got to have an Oktoberfest mug, so pop them if you got them. Smoke them if you got them, because I am on some crazy edible. Forgot to bring it back down. As I said, I had to tune so you could hear me, because we all come from different vibrations, different sounds. One thing I was working in, and I'll adjust it. I was working on trying to see how much I could feedback off of this black granite, because you know black granite is very high vibrational, and so with this crystal here, you know the crystal is Chairman Fred. I was able to get some feedback off of the counter of the black granite and the ball and the crystal my singing bowl. So I hope you enjoyed it. Oh man. Text me when you got some time tomorrow. I need some advice from you, because yeah, just text me and you'll be able to answer it easily, because I want to duplicate something that you did. So yeah, you had some good shit and I want to duplicate what you're doing. You was getting ready. Oh, okay, bet. But thank you for joining me, brother PJ. How you doing? Uh, uh oh, okay, that's all right. Oh yeah, definitely here. As I say, I wanted to work with the sounds to seeing how the countertop would react with the singing bowls, because I was kind of doing it earlier. I was in the other room and using it, and I kept hearing the vibration. And what's interesting is crystals will sing. I mean, I've had a crystal. I broke one of my beautiful netrolite crystals, and it sang. I would hit this singing bowl, and it would right back at me. So yeah, we're in here. Hey, brother Macbone Files, thank you for joining me. Dr. Sinister, how you doing? Okay, yeah, hit me up. Hey, Lorenzo, thank you. The glory of the Ravens, victory over Brady and the Bucks tonight. Ravens, indeed. I guess I'll break down. Yeah, one play was interesting. It was interesting watching the script tonight, because Brady is definitely 1,000 feet slower. He's not making the reads as quick. And it's not, the script is a lot of the same, but his reactions to the script, we saw the same with Drew Brees. We can go back. Elway. I'll say Elway was one of the smart ones. He quit after that second Super Bowl, but he was so beat up, but he was able to survive that second Super Bowl. But Brady, you see the reactions. You see the same thing with Rodgers. They ain't gonna let Rodgers beat Brett Favre. They're not gonna give Rodgers another Super Bowl. I'm not yeah, and none of them are gonna beat Bart Starr. Bart Starr is their statue. Favre only won one, lost one. So Rodgers only won one. So these old dudes, time is catching up with them. But I'll stick with the sports for a second. Let me get with this. Let me tell y'all this. Now, I told y'all before about this Emmett Till thing. Me and Sly have to do another show after the movie comes out. I'll go see the movie. But one thing I'm going to say about this Emmett Till movie, we get losses. We sit there and thought the Nat Turner movie would be a win. Again, it was a loss. Very likely. Now, again, I'll tell you my just short connection with Emmett Till is as follows. I've said this many times. My old roommate, Ray Mobley, who was in the Vietnam, worked with the water department for me. Him and the girl that sang the song Be My Baby, Ronnie Spectra, their names is Mobley. Now, I don't know if Ronnie's name was Mobley, because I think their mothers were sisters. So I think Ray and Ronnie's, I think their mothers were sisters. But anyway, either they had a brother or they have an uncle that married Mimi. Her name was Till until she got married. Now, if the movie's done from her book, they're going to call him Mr. Mobley, if I remember right. But I'm going to say this before I forget my main point about this movie. We take losses in these movies, and at some point, this movie is going to make you think he deserved what happened to him. Watch. The way Europeans and what's the big subject? The way that Jewish faith people who fund most movies, they're going to make Emmett Till look like he deserved it. And I'm going to say this: it's not going to be a win for us of their shaming. They're rewriting history. And they're going to make Emmett Till. You see, they making the store look like a modern day bordello. You see the commercials, it looks like a modern day bordello. It was a little shack. Well, no, little building, but a classic building in the 50s, 60s. This one little with coolers in it, little bitty store. The movie maker looked like it's a big old supermarket. And as everyone knows, he was called Bobo, but he stuttered. He stuttered. So to say bubble gum, he had to stutter. Because the first story I heard is that he whistled at her and they killed him for whistling at her. Now, are we going to, is this what, I mean, is this going to show the brutality? Because brutality, I think that the story is false. I think it was a scare, just as the lynching cards was scare tactics. I don't think the lynchings were as big as they said. Now, there was a time they would kill people, Indians. It was a time. But once they went past that, they wasn't killing people like that. But they were so outnumbered, they had to use a lot of propaganda. That's why they had the lynching cards, postcards, because it was easier to put out propaganda than to kill a lot of people. And so I think this was one of their final tries of propaganda. Now, what they show us in the Body and Jet magazine is obviously a dummy. It is not real. You can't make me think what you see in Jet magazine, almost 60 plus years ago, that is real. When we're looking at this thing in modern eyes, we see it's a fake head and we see the body's fake. No. Some parts that described in some parts that are described when they describe the smell of the casket coming back, that could come from a lot of different things. We know. And I think the conclusion that I and Super Sly came to, the story's too over the top. Number one, he didn't rape her. He didn't harm the woman in any way, shape, or form. He didn't harm her. Most of the brutality comes from rape or some allegations. So you're telling me she told her husband that this guy just disrespected her in the worst way without doing anything to her. He just said some shit to her because all his cousins and shit was all around. He didn't physically do anything to this woman. And you're saying that Jim Crow back then was you could just say something and in the middle of the night, the night rider would come and take you away. And we know the story has grown where there were 3 men supposedly in the back of the truck, 3 brothers that held him in the back of the truck. Because if you read even their story in Jet magazine, it was in Life magazine. The full story, they tell. Because Double Jeopardy, once they was said not guilty, Double Jeopardy didn't exist. So these dudes told the whole story, supposedly the whole story. And one part they put, and then later was added by 60 Minutes, is that they said they put him in the back of the truck. Now, the story from a long time was nobody was back there with him. And you have to wonder if he was back there by himself, why didn't he jump off? So we're gonna take an L for that story. We're definitely gonna take an L. Oh yeah, it's my there we go. I'm back so far. Okay, Lorenzo. Julio Jones, yeah, he got a touchdown tonight. Hey, DT, thank you for joining. I'm not going to see that shit another division. It is. Hey, Jeffrey. Till movie is called. The Till movie is. Yeah, you think it would be about Emmett. It's about his mama. Yeah, absolutely. It's her. Now, look, let me leave that on there. Her mama wrote a book. The movie is about the mama's book. The murder is only a small little bit. You need something? No, I had it. Oh, okay. The murder is only a small little bit. Him going down there and it's the trial, and then the trial's over. So definitely, it is the murder is going to be overshadowed by the rest of the story because they try to say his story is the start of the civil rights. Because in Mississippi, where is my Ebony magazine history, Black history bounded book? I'm trying to think. It was another dude named Jesse something that was murdered in Mississippi. Lorenzo, you might know this. He was actually, there's a picture of him like tied to his hands, like behind his back. And what was it? he requested his hat be put back on his head. So they put like a schoolboy hat back on him. And then they killed him. But he was chained like this. But then that murder, and then the Till murder, it wasn't, a whole lot of murders that I had heard beside those two, with Till being a little different than most. So the Till thing, which makes no sense, is you're saying other than words and social reactions that you had to murder him. Because technically he did nothing physically to this woman. Didn't rape her, didn't do anything. Now, they're not going to show the brutality that Europeans possessed in the South back then, because it's over words. It's over social interaction. Some say he put the money in her hand, and that's worth killing him over. So again, this ain't gonna be this ain't gonna be what y'all think. The elite use weather welfare and have since the Vietnam War. Let me add to that. I can even add a little bit to that. I don't know if I mentioned, maybe not. I ain't been on for a minute, so I haven't mentioned this. I was out at the reservation, and they were burning crops, or no, they were burning dead grass, the seasonal grass. It's a roundabout, and they was burning the roundabout, but when I was driving up to, like, because where I play pickleball, is in the reservation land. So I saw on the side, I saw smoke and shit coming from the reservation. I saw, light sirens. And so when I went to the roundabout, this shit was blazed like a motherfucker. These niggas, these Indian niggas was just sitting there chilling. I was like, damn. I'm like, should I drive? They was kind of looking at me like why I was just sitting there. And so I drove around this fiery mess. And but the point I want to say to your comment is, so I drove by this shit, didn't really see any more smoke. So again, this is just seasonal grasses. They burn easy, controlled fires. But I saw a Skyrider come up. I saw a Skyrider come up right to our, let me think, right to my west. Matter of fact, the Skyrider had to come from Eden Prairie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came from Eden Prairie Airport. And he just did one little line, and then he took off. And we did get rain all day yesterday or the day before. Whatever day, I'm telling you, whatever day, the next day or the day after, we had rain all day after seeing that. Just one little line. So yeah, definitely. I think Zach tells the story from the 50s when they actually killed a couple hundred people because they made it rain so much that they couldn't control it, that it overran a dam. So yeah. The baseball diamonds I sent you, that's crazy. You sent me, I have to look at it again. Gosh, I don't know. I have to look at it again. You sent me so much stuff. I thought I looked at everything. A nationwide psyop. I think so too. That's what me and Sly end up saying. And maybe we'll do another show, because it was about a year ago we did that other show. So maybe Sly wants to do another show once we see it. I'll see it whenever it comes out. I'm going to see Black Panther when that shit come out, if I don't see it before it comes out. Yeah. Parks was an Eastern Star. Understand? Never had any heroes. Yeah, she wasn't a hero. It was the young girl, and they was embarrassed. Yep, everything. Not everything. Heart attack. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we see it. We see how young people are. Remember this, when you do anything. Remember, we all have magic, and remember, you're powerful. You're more powerful than what you think. So watch your magic, because your magic is stronger than you know. So don't write stories. Don't write stories. Like, you see someone that's got a code, leave it at that. Don't, because see, the way they want you to further this thing on is like you write stories. It's like, oh, he's got a code. He must have this and he must have that. And like the comedian said, his dad went into to see the doctor. The doctor told him he had cancer. He said, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because you didn't have it when you went in there. So, and if they've got to put some shit like that chemotherapy shit, I would rather move through. I seem to remember saying, leaving here. Too many. I seem to remember saying about people. Yep. Too many brothers of the decades have been sacrificed for the sake of mass media propaganda. What is his name? Infinite University. Jason. His shit. When his book comes out, when they show, and you know, when Jason's book come out about 2020, that a rapper died every 40 some seconds, and I know that number you might try to generate something, but in 2000, a rapper was sacrificed every 40 some seconds, and this is categorized by Jason. Look over his exact word. Please forgive me for infinite consciousness, infinite university, something like that. But when his book comes out, if we can get that to show that these are the most attacked black people, you know, or melanated people. Remember Forerunner saying a melanated family with their car was put under a pond down in Mississippi. Wow. 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 And you know, those Cheney and them, they built under a dam. You know, they was building a highway dam, and they built Cheney and them. That's where they buried Cheney and them. Them social workers, them civil rights workers, and they did that shit with the FBI right with them. What's your question, Jeffrey? The movie will be another victimization psyop, just like the other 12 Years a Slave. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I agree. It's a psyop. It's trying to get with your emotions. You know. She was a prostitute. I don't know. Was she? I don't know. I didn't study her that much. She was probably, you know, Rosa Parks was probably a lot like Kamala Harris. You know, beat down girl. You know, that's all. Camilla was, you know, one of them girls that, you know, like Kim Kardashian now, keeping that kind of thing. It's always been women like that have made their way to the top that way. That's all. And some of it is ritual, sexual ritual. They make it through sexual ritual. That's how the Kardashians did it. It was all through sexual ritual. I mean, even when the daddy dressed like that, it was all ritual and publicity. Next, we go into a movie about named Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown. Oh, they're not far behind. Definitely, they're not far behind. They're just letting time clear. They're just letting time clear. Yeah. That it's just a matter of time for both. Let me say this. Y'all know the Miller Lite commercial where the dude go in there? Y'all seen the Miller commercial or the beer commercial where they go in there and they look at him and they want him to switch beers? And the dude behind the counter, y'all ain't noticed that dude look like Zimmerman? They putting him right in front of your face. They putting a Zimmerman lookalike in this commercial. Y'all know it's either, I don't know if it's Ultra, Michelob Ultra, or it's Highlight. It's one of them two. But it's the dude working behind this cashier looks like Zimmerman. Already they putting a lookalike in front of you and ain't nobody said nothing about that. This is a Zimmerman lookalike. So, you know, Sean, hit me because I've been moving and I still got your stuff. So give me your address again. You know me, I'm at eaglesarethebomb@gmail.com. Yeah. Things have been moving up here, so I've been able to get a few more stuff. So get me. I'm, you know, I'm moving, so I wanna. Yeah, I got the box. Yeah, I got the box. I didn't realize at the house I got the box today. So send me your address and stuff again, please. I would appreciate it. Hey, Eric, thank you for joining me. Oh yeah, things have been going wonderful, man. Things have really been going wonderful. So hit me up, man. Yeah, hit me. You know, Eagles are the bomb. Send me your stuff again. Yeah, and I'll send you some of the stuff from the Great White North. I might send you some snow. Be like, hey, how long can you keep the snow? I want it to where you open up the box and snow pops out the box. Black Panther, yeah, and that's ridiculous. Like it wasn't just one. You know, they want you to think that South America was against you, and that then people from Africa was with you. That is what Black Panther is trying to show you. That the people in South America, that you see, this is what they want to show you. That you, as melanated Americans, that you have more in common with the Black Panther, the energy in Africa than you do with the very pyramids that you helped build. I mean, you have to understand the history. The Omen, when I read about the time walkers, when I say it all starts with a gentle sadness, and I talk about talking about civilization that were civilization builders. This is what the Omen did, and you can't deny what they built all through the up to the East Coast, all the way up through Alaska. You can't deny this through the Mississippi mounds. You can't say that this. They want to lie and say this ain't all the same, and they know it's all the same. They know it's all the same. What Black Magic has some cat on the other day. Let me tell you kind of how it is. There's a show. What is the dragon show? You know they got that tree and the tree with a face on it. You've seen that movie on HBO or whatever. It's a tree with a face on it. Well, I've talked about this many times. Trees was once alive. Trees still can communicate. Trees can communicate. This is probably how they learned about the internet is through trees. Trees can communicate all throughout the world. They've always had that ability. Now, yeah, they killed most of the trees that went up into the clouds. And, Pop Evolve talk about the trees was once people. Then they talk about the rocks was once people. That's why crystals exist. So the melanated Americans, that is your stuff down in Mexico. The mounds that's near me, this is all magic that we get. And what did Black Adam say when he came in? When you realize what this illusion is, what did Black Adam say? You have weak magic. That's what the person that be here now that is fully aware your magic is weak. It's easier to walk through your magic. That's what he told these motherfuckers. Your magic is weak. Because all this, the so-called atom bomb, bullets, this is technology that are all part of magic. Guns wasn't just, no, guns was introduced from these wizards over in Europe. So if you don't think there was help in time robbers, time crooks, time tampers, it's every day. That's why they scared you. Well, you can't be in the same place at the same time. Well, that's a lie. That's why I'm glad they made the movie. What, Inception? Or not Inception, but the one that Denzel's movie, the slide I broke down, showing you you can fight yourself. Ain't nothing going to happen. You can't be at the same place at the same time. OTF. Whoa, sorry, I'm jumping. Cat Matt. I know who Cat Matt is. Look like George Two in the Miller. Yeah. In the Middle Light commercial. Yeah, it looked like him, man. There's a dude behind the counter, I'm telling you. Nah, man. Yeah, I moved. Yeah. And I haven't even changed my address to over here yet. Yeah, I've been here, 3 months damn near. Yeah, a week or so. I've been here 3 months. So, I don't live in the other place, but I'm keeping the other place for another month. Because I'm kind of paying for my cats to live where they're living now. And then my cats are moving next week when my son moves. So we got to start moving stuff into that place. And don't even get me started on that trifling dude. He ain't even moved no stuff. So I got to go over there earlier, start throwing stuff away. But yeah, so I'm moving. Yeah. So I'm kind of, getting rid of stuff. So I got some boxes. Should have invested in the Sheikies before Black Panther. Yeah. Out for 7 months. Cat Matt, that's my son. What's happening, Cat Matt? Black Panther guy's an Omic deity, ancient African. Yeah, definitely. That was something else. I keep this Omic stuff on me all the time. I mean, I don't just talk this stuff. This is stuff I keep with me. This stuff becomes a part of you if you keep this stuff in, your atmosphere and you live this stuff and you're true to this stuff. And so, I take these energies that are freely given because of I guess, my honesty in it and my love and my true understanding of the awareness that was given out. Was the Sandman say the vortex came? Well, I think that's what they made me. I think they might have made me that. What did he say? The one is born every so many. It's the same thing. um, Actually, I thought Black Adam was really good. I thought as I said, Dr. Fate, the helmet is definitely the mind. If you missed my little talk about that, the helmet in Black Adam was definitely the mind. It was the mind, and you put the mind on, and you get some of the mind abilities. But it was, Dr. Fate was like 3 or 4 different characters built into one in a way. I the reason why I got bad reviews is because 2 Millimeter Man was leading the way, so that's why I got such bad reviews. But the movie in itself, I thought all the characters, I thought it was a great screenplay, and that's the problem I have with most shows. The screenplays be bullshit. I thought the screenplay was excellent. I really did. I was impressed with it. The CGI was on point, but just the action went with the story so good. I was impressed. I was really impressed, and when I watch it again, take notes because it's a lot of little stuff I missed, but it was a lot of good, like the gift of saying your magic is weak is that's with all of us. That's what all of us. That's what it is. They act like this is the thing when you aren't scared of death anymore, and it's not foolish or that you want to snuff yourself off. It's just saying that however it comes, we accept it with no attachments. We accept it with no attachments. Why am I getting all stuffy? But I thought it was a good movie. Where to jump to? Are they saying that Black Adam versus Superman means magic can't fight magic? Because honestly, it should be Black Adam versus Shazam, or at least jump by Superman and Shazam. I want to say that Shazam is some kind of spell. Shazam is supposed to be. This is what I suspect is they're using with Shazam. As I said, remember when Black Adam came in, it was the sound first. It was the sound that you heard first that something was coming through creation, and then he shows up, and that's why they hold that sound for so long. So it made me think, okay, now we got Shazam, and they're trying to say that Shazam is the creation thing. If you understand that, that's kind of what they're trying to tell you, that the sound of creation is Shazam. And I know there's a lot of ways you probably could break that down, but that's what I think I kind of get out of that. Because we got another Shazam movie coming out. Are they saying that Black Adam versus Superman means magic can't fight magic? Because honestly, it should be Black Adam versus. I think it's also saying that. I think it's saying that some of the beings is magic. Like we know, Doctor Strange has to move through magic and spells. Superman doesn't really need any of that. But see, they never explain how Superman. Well, they show at times he can get bound, but it can never hold him forever. He can get out of that kind of thing. You understand? It's like watching Sandman, and something I was trying to explain to my girl. What you have to understand about Sandman, that's totally people miss it, and it does not make sense about a creator. Is they're saying this cat was taken for 100 years. They say this cat was taken for 100 years. To a god, 100 years is like he done blinked. And he goes back to his realm, and all of a sudden this shit is like, oh no, to a god, 100 years is like a blink. So that was one of the biggest problems I had with it. Like the realm went crazy over a human 100 years. When 100 years to something like that, there's no time. So that was some of the weakest stuff. So that's my best saying is Black Adam is an earthly. Okay, it's like saying this: Superman was created to save the earth from it as an entity. If you understand, he's an entity that came to Earth to save Earth. Black Adam is saying he comes from the creation source of Earth. So you're talking about the entity that's supposed to come to save Earth compared to the one that's from here, the carbon that's from here. So why would they fight each other? Because their aim should be the same. for humankind. So I think that's kind of what they're going at there. Man, you know I don't watch that shit, man. Superman is back. Oh, where we going? That goes to my next point. What did I think about Hawkman? As I said before, what is it? The War of the Gods, where they show the Anunnaki in that movie. Remember, they throw the Anunnaki, which the Sumerians are older than the Cometians, but anyway, they try to throw the Sumerians gods and the Anunnaki, the Cometan, it's a whole lot of problems. And it's the same thing with this Hawkman. Hawkman, again, represents the Anunnaki. And a lot of Black Adam is the Anunnaki story. Working to get this stuff, they may show emeralds, but getting the gold is the same. In some parts of the world, you can get gold right off the top soil. I mean, those of you who've been in North Carolina, some of that dust is gold. Anybody been in North Carolina? When I lived in Greensboro, some of the dirt you see just gold. And some of the dirt is gold flakes in it, real gold flakes. It's very common. It was a dude had like a 7-8 pound nugget of gold, didn't even know it. They used it for a doorstop for like 20 years until somebody came in there. But yeah, some of the dirt around Greensboro used to see this gold sheen stuff. So Hawkman was sick. Yeah, he was. I liked his character. I liked that his character had no back down. The hammer was a little bit, could go into a lot of different. The hammer could also be a part of the spine. So no, because actually it's more of a baton, So it was the same thing as Thor's hammer, though. So but yeah, I liked his character. Transier. Okay, I've never really. That's an older comic. Hawkman is an older kind of character too. But it's very Anunnaki. It was very Anunnaki in the look, so I thought so. I don't know why I'm getting so stuffy. The other day I blamed it on the dog. Oh, this fridge is so loud. But that's all right. This granite made good sounds with the thing. So just kind of wanted to work around and say I'm finding spots in the house. I like working off this granite, though, because it deadens some sounds in a lot of ways, too. I'm hearing as I'm talking, the way my voice is moving over it. So it's kind of interesting working with this. Yeah, so getting it together, y'all, slowly but surely. Again, I only did the daytime show because that's going to be my last show over at that place. So from now on, all the shows will be here or outdoors, live somewhere. And who knows? As I said, I live right next to, let me see, yes. Where am I? Yes, right there. There is a mountain, well, a ski mountain. I don't know wherever you want to call it, a ski hill mountain. Yeah. I'll say this. If any of you come here and say that what I'm calling a small mountain, small giant hill, get on a pair of skis and you go up that thing and you tell me what it is. That's all I want to tell you. It's a giant hill, maybe. But unless you can get on that thing with a pair of skis and you can, I don't think anybody's watching tonight can do that. So I get to call it what I want to call it. It's a giant hill, but tubing is an option too. But remember, you got to get pulled back up. That's the part I like, is to get pulled back up. But no more skiing for me. But maybe tubing. And then anybody wants to come here? Oh, and Brother Sean, oh my goodness, if we could ever get you here. Oh, take you to these crazy hockey games. The hockey game is about to start. It's crazy. Hockey started. Switch to YouTube TV. I don't know that they have the Bally Sports. I'm not seeing myself. Got to get this straight so I can watch my Wild. So, but my goodness, this is a great place to come up here and watch hockey. Oh, you still up, man? It's late. Ain't no show better than Trailer Park Boys. You are too silly. You are too silly. You see, you're like your nephew. Matt. He's on there watching from work. His ass at work. What time is it? Barely can see. Looks like it's going on one. He's on there too. He likes that shit too, and the one where they're the cartoon. We going to do a 42 ritual this year in World Series. Phillies and Astros played each other in 80. Yes, they did. Phillies won the pennant that year in World Series. The 42 rituals, Astros, Dusty Baker. I'm gonna say it's gonna go like this. Somebody asked to do a breakdown, and I did a breakdown. I think it's gonna go like this. Verlander is not gonna win the first game. No way. No way. He is 0-6. He'll be 0-7. Or you really think they're gonna make him 1-6? No. He's gonna be 0-7 in his World Series starts. So Nola is going to start. Nola is going to win. Their best pitcher by far is Wheeler. Wheeler is going to win too. They're going to win these first two games. For sure. They're going to win these first two games for sure. They don't like Dusty Baker. No. It's not that they don't like him. I just don't see them letting him win one. I just don't. If Verlander, now this is the thing about Verlander. If Verlander can go game 5, we don't know if Nola's going to be able to go game 5. Then the best thing that could happen is Wheeler, if they could end up with Wheeler going game 7, that's going to be the chance for Philly to win. If Wheeler can do, because right now he's set up like we can go 1-5, 2-6. Yeah, 2-6, because they're not going to win with Syndergaard. He's only going to go 3-4 innings. So Suez, McCullers, I give McCullers the edge over. I give game 3 McCullers to Houston. Game 3, I give to Houston. I give Javier. So because they're facing Suez and they're facing Syndergaard. So I'm going game 3, game 4 is definitely going to Houston. Now, as far as I'm going to go, overall, I don't see them giving it to Dusty Baker. I tend to want to agree with Lorenzo. They're probably going to let the Phillies win again. That's what I'm guessing right now. Just looking, this is just a little breakdown I did today. But, for betting money, definitely Philly 1-2. I think Philly's going to lose 3-4. Yeah, Philly definitely 1-2. They're definitely. I'll say that my biggest thing is McCullers winning game 3. McCullers should win game 3, no doubt. No doubt he should easily win game 3. So, just because Syndergaard is pitching game 4, he's not going to go very deep. He doesn't have a lot of good stuff past 3-4 innings, maybe 4 or 5 at the most, but I'm saying 2 or 3. Yeah, so. But I'm thinking they're not going to let Dusty win. That is my guess. Have you seen this year? What your thoughts are about them? Have you seen? Also, what movies have you seen this year, and what are your thoughts about them? Have you seen Barbarian? Have you seen Hello, Darling? I saw Top Gun 2. I thought it was okay. I thought the screenplay was good. I thought the cinematography was some of the best ever. That IMAX in the planes was really outstanding. I saw Nope. I thought Nope was a good story. I really did. I was impressed. The people around me didn't like it, but I thought I had to call Sly because part of it I just didn't really get. I heard the parts, but I didn't really get. But I thought overall it was a good movie. So, and then I just saw Black Adam last week. So I was about to watch Preference. I think that's on Amazon Plus, whatever. So I haven't seen Hello, Darling or Barbarian. Remember Amanda Waller sent Superman to yeah. Big Pontiac, congratulations on your new place. Thank you, man. That is kind of you. Thank you. Superman seems to be a kind of knockoff of Thor with the red capes, except they let Superman fly. Thor has to helicopter up. Eric, I would also say, Simon Magnus, the flying human is definitely a correlation to Simon Magnus. I mean, Simon Magnus is still the only person in recorded history that is recorded to humanly fly, not levitate, fly. That's what, there's very much, very little of him. What does he call the fire? There's only a couple sentences of his that other than that. And then, of course, the Catholics try to make a story where him and Peter could fly higher to him, and Magnus or whoever, they say this Simon comes and cracks his bones. No, it's some bullshit. They even know because, well, y'all know. But so, yeah, it's a copy of that cat. That cat, like the dealing down, that's straight from Simon Magnus that they do with Superman and they do in the Matrix. I never saw the comic books that did that, but supposedly Simon was able to kneel down and talk to the earth and then push off straight up. So the only man in recorded history that can fly, who you can look up, that was a real person. Yeah, I might knock off this other one. Got this big stein here. I can probably go another half hour. Don't really have a busy day. But this was a marvelous day. Working on myself. But good observation, Eric. Good observation. Thank you for sharing that. One of these days, oh my goodness, let me know. Let me know. And we got to get you a jersey because we're not going to have you wearing any. Don't come. If you come, don't come wearing that. What's the team down there? It's the cat team down there. What is it? Sabres. Don't bring that stuff here. We've got plenty of stuff that says wild. So just let you know. I think when everything opens up, travel to America, I definitely come to your hood. Catch it. Hood? What? Wait a minute. What? I'm about to have what? You think this looks like the hood? The hood don't look like this, Sean. The hood don't look like this. This don't look like the hood. I'm just joking. Just joking. Yeah, I'm just joking. Download the. Oh, okay. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to download the Bally apps because I'm not gonna miss them. I am definitely not going to miss too many more Wild games. I watch the Wild more religiously than I watch the Timberwolves. I don't like missing them. Superman, no, he didn't. Thor came out. There's stories of Thor. What do I tell you? Them stories come out. What is his name? Thor comes from the stories of his father. That's where that stuff comes from. Those myths. So no, Superman ain't older than that stuff. And Superman definitely ain't over in Simon Magnus. Simon Magnus is, I think, 32. Comes from AD 32, I think, somewhere around there. Contemporary of Jesus times. And there's more physical sightings of this real person and real lineage that this person lived. So Thor came out way before. Odin, the stories of Odin and stuff. So, it came out way before. Is only here because Superman, Batman's second to Spider-Man. I see what you're saying in popularity. Thor is from the old Viking sagas. Yeah, way over. That's what I just said. Exactly. Time of war, distraction, just like Captain America. Yeah. I think, but you guys are kind of talking about two different things. We're saying in myth, Thor is an older story. Superman is several different people wrote into one. So Thor as a story is much older. Nope was crazy. I like Nope. None of the people I went to it liked it. I didn't really like his other movies. I couldn't watch the one when they went underground. That shit was stupid and slow. What was the other one with the coffee? I mean, that one, get the fuck out of here. I'd have shot all them motherfuckers. Come on. It's like you had to go into that shit and be the weakest minded motherfucker in the world. But I understand. Yeah, I saw Nope. Yeah, I saw it. Now it was like the part, I had to ask Fly because I didn't understand the part, I didn't really think about the part of fighting nature and trying to control nature. Because in the beginning of the movie, what does he say? Is you made a deal with some kind of entity. So thinking that you can control something that's uncontrollable just because you come across it and you want to make a deal with it. And I guess a lot of it I think is a thing in Hollywood, You make a deal with these people and you think you can just get out of it and that the storm will go away. And when you make the deal is forever. So maybe that's the part. That's all. Uh Also, Philly's last World Series win was back in '08, 14 years ago, while the Astros was 17. So he might have a World Series that ends in 5. Ooh. I'll tell you what, if, what's his name? I'll tell you what, if Nola gets to pitch twice, but the key is going to be if Wheeler pitches game 5, his lights out. Nola pitches, I'll tell you what, if it's for the money, and it's game 6 and it's Wheeler on the mound, the Phillies gonna win. If it's game 6 and the Phillies can win, Wheeler, let me see, yeah, because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So Nola go 5. If it's for the money, I put Wheeler. If it's for the money, I would put Wheeler on. He'll be 2 days rest. Well, depending on how they do game 5. If Wheeler can get 3 days rest and go game 5, they'll win game 5. I would even give, because you seeing it'd be Verlander and Nola again in game 5. I would say Nola would be better the second time around compared to Verlander, because that would put Verlander at 08, which I could see his starts being 08 instead of Verlander being 2-6. I don't see him doing that. So I'll say the wild card of pitching is McCullers. If McCullers gets 2 games, Houston will win. Because that'll put him in game 6. Yeah. Because that'll put him in game 6. And Wheeler, yeah, because Wheeler would do game 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, I would say, now I'll say this. Yeah, McCullers would do game 6. But Wheeler would do game 5, I think. So depending on where McCullers wins 2 games, they win it. I'll say that. If McCullers gets 2 games, I think they'll win it. But again, Wheeler's going to be tough to beat twice. I don't see it. I don't see them beating Wheeler twice. I would say offhand, probably the Phillies. They're not going to let they're not going to let him. They said he practiced the Necromine Magnus. Huh? Yeah, he practiced a little bit of everything. I think he was one of the first ones that really called it fire, the divine fire. He was the first ones. Suburbs. I live south of the cities, so yeah, kind of. I live south of the cities, but I live really close to downtown. Well, no, not really. I live closer than I did. I live off the highway now. Before, my son lives like downtown. 20, 25 minutes from the Target Center, maybe. Still ain't I moved actually east. I moved east. I was living south. I moved east. So now I live east of I still live south of the city, but I live east of where I was. I'm in a town called Burnsville now. So they messed around. I live behind a mall. No good for me. But get to walk a lot. Hey, Nick Taylor, good to see you. Oh, my goodness, I should run upstairs and get these 2 books. One book is called The UNA and Black Detroit. Oh, I bought 2 books from Detroit, and I don't have them down here. But one is called the UAW and Black Detroit. That's one in paperback. And the other one, I'm not sure. So I have 3 books of Detroit. So I'm glad you stepped in. I hope all is well for you, bro. Hope all is well. I think Michigan I'll say this. I think Michigan might go all the way this year. I'm looking at the Harbaugh brothers and what one brother is going through. Right now, Michigan is looking good. PJ, if you want to bet on Ohio State against Michigan, let me know. I play pickleball with some dudes. I bet all the time. So I'll be looking for those wanting to bet for Ohio State because I think they're gonna go down there and beat them. And if they do, they're gonna win it all. They beat Ohio State in Ohio State, they will win it all. Uh, yeah, I know, Jeffrey, I know. Yep, they brought in Thor. I mean, if you really look at what you see now is you're seeing the visualization of what baby boomers were able to read about in the 60s and 70s. And now you see the people with the money putting this what because comic books really took off in the 60s like no other. Um, Again, you look at a culture that mostly didn't have to farm anymore. So they had a lot of free time. And as a nation, we read. I mean, people don't realize that comic books came out every week. What comic books? I think they still come out every Tuesdays. Now, maybe now with the mangas and stuff, but comic books used to come out every Tuesday. I don't know if you guys collect like that, but that's when they used to come out. Now, I'm not sure now, but the place I used to get it from in Michigan, the new comic books, seem like they came out every Tuesday. It's been like that forever. Well, I'm not saying forever, but them coming out every week. Some came out every week. Some came out every month. So I could be maybe Superman every month, but I want to say Superman. No, there's some came out in the newspapers too. So I don't know. I'm confused, old man. Is definitely older. Yeah, we knew you knew enough. The God of Thunder, Norse mythology, lots of books, Olin, and what's Valhalla like? Yeah, oh yeah, very. That's where we get the word God comes from. You know what is his name? God, King Good. That's where it comes from. The story of God. The word God means dog, but it also comes from King Good. Now, King Good, and you can look this right up. I think it's Goode, but King Good is supposedly Odin's grandson that survived a catastrophe. And because he survived a catastrophe, again, some people try to tie this into Tatari and this, but because he survived this catastrophe, he's the grandson of Odin. He declared himself a god, and that's where we get the word God from. Good. King Good. Us and Get Out. Midgard II, the Lord near the ocean they lived in. Ooh, thank you. The craziest port note was when Jean Jacket ate the 40 people and they actually showed it. Now that was messed up. It was very messed up. Twins fell, OG. The Twins. You see both free agents. We got the free agent from Houston. He's leaving. He's already optioned out. The other guy optioned out. They were getting these leads and just falling apart. Just not keeping leads. You know, it's all scripted and stuff, but still scripted better where don't give us a 4-0 lead and then we lose to Cleveland. And you see how Cleveland folded. Not fun. Getting slowly digested, hours and crushed at the same time. Oh my goodness. Did you guys see today? You know, you guys read Google, some lady in Vietnam. This lady was picking some shit in Vietnam and got ate by a goddamn boa constrictor. Did y'all see that shit? This chick got ate. She's out working in a goddamn boa constrictor because they bite you. And once they bite you, you know, they squeeze you and squeeze you to death until your heart stops beating, and then they eat you. You can look this up. They cut this snake open, and the old lady up in the snake. He'd only ate her like the day before. Did y'all see that? That is some crazy shit. I do got one topic. Y'all can take this how you want it. It ain't nothing new. This is the old thing. Let me answer everybody. I ain't got nobody in here. Where are my people at? Do that too. Oh, thank you, Lorenzo. That's nice of you. Yeah, I'm really thinking. He says keeping his finger crossed for real. Uh, nope, makes you wonder if some tomatoes aren't just sentinel. You'll say just eating humans. That's always been what they were saying about, they was eating the cows in the 70s and 60s. When Superman comic strip came out in Detroit Free Press on Sunday. Remember the comic strip Hager, the horrible, yeah, Family Circle, the Family Circle, yeah, 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 yeah. We used to get both. We used to get the Detroit. We had a lot of people in Chicago, so we would get the Kalamazoo paper, we get the Detroit paper, and we would get the Chicago paper. Yeah, and all the Sunday comics was in color. Yeah, yeah. We used to get all three papers. We sure did. Baxter's always hurt, man. Dude was a beast when he was healthy. Top five for sure. Buxton, yeah, he had season-ending surgery. Uh, yep, he had season-ending surgery. That's just how the creatures eat people, and nope, crushing them and slowly dissolving them. Uh, yeah, yeah, I would agree. The screams, yep. My favorite movie of all time is a very boring movie, but it's one of the most romantic, and it's a movie called Same. Well, it's a tie. Blazing Saddles with Richard Pryor doing some writing. Cleavon Little is brilliant with Gene Wilder. You can see why later Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor were able to play off each other. But that's one of my favorite movies is Blazing Saddles. But I would say, sentimental wise, one of my favorite movies, and of course, Godfather 1, 3, and 4. Well, 1 and 3. Well, all 1, 2, and 3. But same time next year is probably my sentimental all-time favorite. And what it's about is this couple meets every year. They having a weekend affair every year for 20 years. They are committed to each other for a weekend for 20 years, and it shows the way the relationship goes. And one part for those of you men that are married or got women pregnant, it shows she comes for one weekend where she's pregnant and he don't quite know what to do. She wants to get busy because pregnant women, they, other than the baby good pressure when you lay it on them, they don't want you to lay on them a certain way. You kind of got to move around. They kind of like it when they're pregnant. I have 7, so believe me, I've experienced a lot of that. Talk about experience. And so, so that's one of my favorite movies. But it's just a beautiful love story. Yeah, just LL Transformer 333. Thank you for joining me. You can ask your question as long as it's cool. I don't have any moderators in here tonight. No one's moderators. Blazing Saddles was hilarious. Mel Brooks turned out some great comedies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch that boy shit, redneck. That is one of my favorite lines. Watch that boy shit, redneck. That had to be Richard Pryor wrote that shit. And then when he hits him, after they pull him out of quicksand, he's like, "No balls, no balls," and he bing, he hits him upside the head with the shovel for not saving them, saving the damn trolley and not saving them. So that shit is genius. Yeah, that's Mel Brooks at his best. And then the part where the German chick, get with the brother, and she, they turn off the lights, and she was like, "Do brothers have big dicks?" And then they turn off. Then when you hear something go zip, and she's like, "It's true, it's true, it's true." That's Blazing Saddles. That shit's funny. Uh, oh yeah. uh, 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 Severance. I haven't seen Severance yet. I haven't seen Severance. Not yet. My favorite TV show. I'll tell you, one of my first favorite TV shows was the coolest shit was when I was a little boy, and the music went like this. And I know a lot of people are going to think that's the Lone Ranger, but it wasn't. It was William Tell. I used to love William Tell. Two things I loved about William Tell. They was always fighting on ladders. I love that where you can jump on a ladder and go fight a motherfucker, or to have the crossbow. William Tell, they was some crossbow shooting motherfuckers. They was like cowboys with crossbows. William Tell was probably one of my favorite TV shows. That's when I was a very young boy. They were showing the 50 reruns, but I liked William Tell because that seemed like a good job to me. Like, go rush people with ladders and you could jump over it with swords. The sword was big as you. And I would be enthusiastic about rushing a castle that's all rock and they might have hot liquid up there. But if you get in there and wipe everybody out, you could get jewels and money and maidens. So I like William Tell. I don't know if a lot of y'all saw that. The William Tell overture. See, he do it. He do it. He do it. He do it. William Tell. He do it. You do. He do. William Tell. That's right. William Tell. It ain't Lone Rangers. William Tell. That shit. That's some bad shit. They was always standing on ladders. They wouldn't rush them all the time. Sometimes they would climb the ladders to be spies. Now, what kind of spy are you where you got to take the ladder, put it up against the castle, and climb up the ladder and talk to people and nobody discover you? This is the kind of stuff that I loved. It made no sense. It was like they would try to spy on people just, be climbing the ladder. I mean, it was funny. It was funny. So William Tell, now, Buck Rogers was another movie that did the Anunnaki, and my brother says how I used to roast Hawkman. I mean, Hawkman on Buck Rogers, or whatever. I think he was called Hawkman 2, or whatever he was. That was the most uncomfortable costumes of costumes. Look up Buck Rogers and look up the Hawk dude on Buck Rogers. And my brother would always crack up when I would talk shit about Hawkman. But I mean, that costume had to be like severely hot. So that Buck Rogers was kind of funny too. Let me see. I would say this. I said this term before, and this is a term. This is a term that's becoming more and more popular. But if you don't like it, slowly quit. If it's that toxic, it's a new term called slowly quit. Find something that's more positive for you and slowly quit. And that's what I just experienced myself doing, just slowly quitting. Because football season, I wasn't going to work 4 to 9. I wasn't going to work, man. Football, that did not work for me during football and basketball season. Basketball's at night. High school nephews about to start hooping in a couple weeks. So, yeah, but slowly quit till you find something better. That's the best. If it's not for you and it's toxic, now, and you just starting, you got to look at your own finances too, what you can handle. But there's a new thing called slowly quitting until you find something better. So, again, your own finances you have to figure out. But, because we all got bills to pay. But I'll say this, I'm not a wealthy man. I mean, I'm doing okay. But we have to make our own way. We have to make our own way. And we have to find out our own way of taking care of us. We each have our own path. We each have our own path to follow and to find out how you financially fit in this world and what financially works for you. And when you end up with financial maturity, that's a big part of it. Because, I mean, really, it's easy to buy a house as young as 24, 25. If you didn't have college debt, and that's another thing to consider, that because some of that college debt stuff is being blocked. The one part of it, it seems like it's already pushed through, but another part they're trying to block of even the college debt. I mean, luckily, I have no college debt. 2 of my children don't have college debt. My third, he has a little bit, but yeah. So, but I know young women that they have college debt. I don't have that. So that's my best. That's my best. Find out, a place to land. Always have a great place to land. Look at your financial position. You have survived before that job. And that's the way to look at it. Before the job, you were surviving. so you can survive after that and do something better for yourself. Right now is a great time for employees. I mean, people are hiring still crazy. Every day I'm reading about different places around here, and every place starts at 20 something, 15 to 20 something. So up here, you can't, like in the city of Minneapolis, everything is 15, but most places is 18. Like my son, shit, 18, 19 an hour, first, second job. So, uh, uh, wish you could buy Facebook. Why? What would you do with it? Serious question. How do I change it? How do you change what? Let me see. It was affecting my mental health, and I had school on top of it. Yeah, yeah. You don't have to deal with that. You know, slowly quit, find something better, and then move. Move to something better. That's what I would say. I don't want this hand anymore. Well, trade hands. Trade hands. My brother, I'm ready to drive in it on home. Going to listen on the way. Heard that 6 hours ago. Yeah, yeah. Well, they. I'm trying to think. I was watching last week, and yeah, there was no more appeals. There was no. He was going to have to buy it, and he bought it at $54 a share. Now, as I mentioned, had the TV cut off at one house, so I didn't watch stocks on my phones. So, but I know, last week after the court pretty much, well, he pretty much had to give up. It was still at buying at $54 a share. It had went up to 48, I think, last week. Maybe I'm thinking the week before, but I think last week it was up to $48. No, no, no. It was $45 a share. Maybe last Tuesday, Wednesday, when the final came out, and maybe I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago. But yeah, well, once it came out, the stocks went up. It went up. It was like 30 something. It went up into the 40s. So he'll make it. Yeah. So he was going to have to buy it. And he had to buy it at $54 a share too, because it made no sense. He signed where there wasn't doing any like he signed an agreement where it locked him in. He could do no due diligence. I mean, he signed a deal where it literally said his due diligence was taken out. So it was nothing, like once he signed, he was locked in. So it was just a stalling tactic. That's all. That's all. Well, thank you for joining. Rest well. Safe travels as always. As all you endures, homeboy. Safe travels. I'll send you a thing of these books, man. I got these two other books in Detroit. I'm kind of excited about them. Because it's affecting, yeah. You can't, you gotta, you were surviving before. Serious questions. How do I change it? Well, if you remember the movie Dark City, the thing they did every day is tune. Give you a perfect example, and this is a true story I had to do in this place today. I've just started bringing some of my crystals over, and my lady said that the energies was feeling kind of high. So I was like, okay, okay. Now with my son last year, I kind of know where you have to turn the energy down, and so I had to come in. That's kind of why I have all my things here, because I had to come in and retune. And that's really what it is the movie Dark City, where they come in, but that's what it is. You tune in. That's where the old saying comes, tune in. And so that's really what you have to do. So if you're saying the hand you're played, tune that hand. That's the abilities we have. That's why what he say. Your magic is you have weak magic, and that's what this all around us is. It's not as strong as we really are, and we can tune our surroundings. Now, how you find to tune it, I can't really tell you. You have to see for yourself, but you have to think on, how do I change? It's just like his question at work, slowly quitting. That's a type of tune as itself. You have to tune it till you ready to move on and do something else, because you already see how they're treating you. So you start tuning that, and then you tune a new job. So it's the same way with you. If you think this hand is not good, you can throw it in and tune a new hand. Or tune in, if you need to throw a couple cards away and then to refresh you, you can learn to do that as well. I'm not getting the sinus problems. Why am I so stuffy? So, shit would be wide open to extent. Oops. Nope. 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 Okay. Haha. Nope. There we go. No, Tyler, I mean the YouTube thumbs up emoji from yellow to black. I have no idea about that shit. I don't know nothing about that, bro. Because Goodyear sounds like a better tomorrow, and Firestone sounds demonic. They used to both have professional teams, football and basketball and softball. I think some places even had hockey Goodyear teams. A couple years ago, they showed a Goodyear commercial that showed they semi-pro teams. They pro teams, you know. As I said, pros was everywhere. Wasn't just on what you watched on TV. They had so much competition, but they've killed all the semi-pro teams that make you think that people play semi-pro ain't pro. You just playing in a winter league. You just playing in a summer league. What do they call them? Pro-am. What is that? Pro-am. And they make you think because you ain't on TV, you an amateur, and then you didn't play pro. That ain't true. I've got people that have careers. My uncle that just passed a couple months ago, he had a career. He hooped in the Air Force. He hooped in the Air Force. That's all he ever did. He went to the Air Force. He went to a college. They didn't play him. He's like, fuck that. He talked to some Air Force people. They was going to let him hoop. This dude did not go to Vietnam or nothing. He just hooped during the Vietnam era. He hooped in Europe. So, all is demonic. I am. I'm in a definitely better place. There's a arrow that points down. You have to hold it, and they will have a selection for you to change it if you want it. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness, man! It's first time. You got this damn. What is this? A 5-burner Whirlpool stove? Getting used to cooking, but 5 burners. I think I'm gonna do. When we do the celebration, the fall celebration, I'm gonna cook a bunch of shit and show you how you cook with 5 burners and all cast iron. Put that out there. Whip some shit up. Oh, man. Got notes from everywhere. Did y'all notice this? Lorenzo, did you notice this? This happened in, okay, I did do one play. So this is what it was. In the first half, Lamar got called for grounding. Did y'all catch this play? In the first half, Lamar got called for grounding. Of course, grounding is loss of down. The replay showed he was outside the arrows. They put the arrows right there, and they showed he was outside the arrows. And did y'all hear what is his name? What is his name? Hendrick, whatever. He's the Ohio State ex-quarterback that does the college. So they showed he was out of the pocket. He's clearly 3-4 yards out of the pocket. And then that college commentator says his pass didn't make it to the line of scrimmage. He made up for the refs. Did you catch that, Lorenzo? It was in the first half. I don't remember what quarter. But it showed that they lied, and then their replay showed that it was a bad call. I don't know. Oh, Nick has probably more people. Nick probably has the black thumbs up because he has more subscribers. I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel wonderful tonight. That's why I wanted to come on here. Can't say that I'm ready to do shows again, but all the other stuff is coming. So once I get settled, it looks like things gonna be cool. I have some beautiful people that want to come talk to y'all. So that's kind of cool and exciting. So hang on in there with your boy because it is all happening. And so, yeah. So I think I'm going to plant you now and dig you later. But I'll say this. The strive every day is to bring things into your environment that make you real. What you study, what you listen to, all these things, what you think about, All these things can distract you or help you make you more realer. And so when it's time to lay down, you have no regrets. You want nothing. Now, I don't care what religion, whatever, but when you can lay down and you want nothing, you have no regrets. That's the way you want to lay down. That's the way you want to end it. However it comes. If you're about to get hit by a Mack truck, you like, I have no regrets. Come on, Mack truck, squash me. But that's the way you end it here. You have no regrets. You've accomplished everything. I've done a lot that in my life, that I am just joyful of, that I had those experiences. Even the failed attempts of the relationships. As I said, I've never had my heart broken, but I broke hearts. I know. I look at some of these women and I can still see it in their face, what it did to them. And they have to live with that. That's a mask they got to live with. They can't cover that up with makeup. That hurt, there's hurt that you can put in women's face. They can never get rid of that. But that's something, if you have to deal with them, you got to look at, because you left that scar. And that's not a good feeling. It's not. That you have to look at, that I was so immature that I threw away and hurt people that had me, had my back more than, for a young man to have that, that's a great thing to have. Because some people never get that kind of thing, unfortunately. But we move on. And you do whatever you have to do to keep the things that are real in your mind. And you actively go after these things. Being fake is easy. I mean, this is how they want you. They want you to get off work, watch news. After you watch news, eat your dinner, stay on the phone for an hour looking up Facebook and learning Facebook facts. Or listening to somebody on Fox, CNN. That's how they want you to live. That's how they want you to think. Then always think it's the me against them, the Cain against Abel. I like the way Sandman did, where Abel accepts that he's going to get killed all the time, but he get to come back because he's immortal. I like that thing. That's cool. But in the other way they teach it, motherfucker that killed somebody goes and creates civilizations. Got a heart broken by a woman. Also, I've been single my whole life. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I've never had my heart broken by a woman. I haven't watched TV since 2002. You just go to movies? How do you know about TV then if you don't watch movies? There's TV movies too, but I understand. No, I've never really had, I've been disappointed, because people forget how high you rise, the further you can fall. And people forget that. That's a cruel lesson. Almost didn't catch that piece of chocolate. Chocolate soaked in good beer. I'm actually proud I'm single my whole life. That's cool though. Your phone is your TV. That's all you need now. You don't need anything more than that. Yep. Yeah, he said, I like what Jeffrey says. I read books while we still have books. And indeed we do. That's my biggest thing. I was sitting there trying to watch the game, and my girl is sitting me showing me bookshelves, because I've got 3 at my other house. 2. I've got 2. And I just bought 30 books the other day. And I'm finishing reading up 2. I'm about to read them in the next day or so. If I can get some time to seriously just sit and read, I'll read them up. So getting through this stuff, bringing the information in. I just like to read shit, just like to read. I like to have a book in my hand, and just that peace and solitude of creating that, it's a great imagination builder, is reading. So Uh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Whatever is for you, bro. Whatever's for you. It's funny. I have a cousin that he when he was young, he was always saying how he had to go to school to see the honeys. Now he has 6, 7 children, but he's doing well. I think he works at the casino, so he's doing his own thing. But I remember he's young. He's always talking about the honeys. Now he got a bunch of children for the honeys, and he was a very young father for the honeys. They're now teaching children cursive. They want children reading up the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Yeah, I'll tell you my cursive story is my oldest son graduated in '08. '08. My oldest son graduated in 2008. And when he was in 7th grade, which would have been 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in there. When he's in 6th or 7th grade, he was in junior high, so he had to be 7th grade. So it had to be, because I moved out of town before 3 or 4, so it had to be like 2, 3, or 4, somewhere in there. They said it wasn't necessary. I mean, far back, it had to be 2002. I don't remember what grade he was in, but it was in 2002, and he just, one thing of my children, my male children, they can't write. I mean, I can't write. You can see my writing. I mean, this is the best I can do. And all my children write like that. They seem to just, not really have that great penmanship. None of them. But he couldn't get cursive. He just couldn't get it. And so it got to the point where they told me is like, he doesn't need it. It got to a point where they said he doesn't need it. And this is in 2001 or 2002. See, Keelan was born in maybe three at the latest, because I was still living in Battle Creek. So, and they told me he didn't need it back then, 2003. They said, all he's going to have to know is how to sign his name, and that's it. How to sign his name, because of computers. So he wasn't going to need it. So they started the campaign back then against cursive. Yeah, back then. And y'all ain't giving me props for saying, that the 80s names, Anthony, and all these names, creating a new language. Y'all ain't giving me props for that, but that's what these sisters did. These sisters started a new language, and they tried to break the codes of Jim, John, and Jack. Yeah, I got to give me credit for that. That's one thing that, sisters created a new language for us, and we make fun of it. Well, I don't want to name my son Howard anymore. Well, what do you want to name him? Dashiki. Dashiki. But they came up with some names that wasn't European names, and we should make fun of that. And I know we do, but if you look at it, that they created a new language, which you can't deny they did. They broke a new language or a new breaking of code. They broke the code. Sisters in the 80s broke the code of names. That's why we don't have these Jim Jack. Again, think about what they did. I hear a lot of y'all make fun of that kind of stuff. But they broke a code of not wanting to name their children after European or Bible names in the 80s. Jarquivius, this is what they tried to do. They set up their own language of saying we ain't them no more. So let's applaud some of them sisters for doing that, because we got a lot of names that ain't these European names. And it does take a conservative attitude to make fun of this. So y'all take that how y'all want to take that, but that was what I'm saying is fact. They created a language that is beneficial. Now, Pookie ain't no new name. My cousin, before he died, his name was Pookie since we were babies. So Pookie ain't no new name. Pookie, Ray, what is the other ones? But Pookie, my cousin was called Pookie since 1964. He was born in 62. So that was the first time I heard Pookie. He was when we were big enough he could talk. And I asked him, what is your name? And he was able to tell me Pookie, even though his name was Joseph. So that ain't no new name. That is a very old hood name. uh, uh, Reading cursive is sometimes hard because some people's handwriting is difficult to read. Doctors got the worst handwriting. Like when you sign, what do you sign? How do you write when you sign? When you sign some shit, how do you write? You scribble. You scribble. You scribble. So yeah. Ain't no more papers. Like I used to write papers in the 70s. In the 80s, I used to have to write papers in cursive. If you were born in the 70s, how different are you from people born in the 40s? You can't stop progress. My mother was born in the 70s. I was born in the 60s. So, and I'll tell you the difference. My mother gets caught into programs. My brother and I don't. And my brother's not a baby boomer. You know, he's whatever's after baby boomers. But we still have pretty strong minds. 20s don't care about tranny bathroom because it's progress, and that's all. I don't know about that. That shit ain't really here. Right, a white one. I couldn't be with a white woman because what? Where you live? I don't know about that here. I've had 3 European women and children by all of them, and nothing happened to me. Those names are made fun of, really indigenous to America. My middle name is Marquise. If I have a daughter, her name is going to be Marquette. Her nickname is going to be QQ. That's cool. We only about 30 years is going on before we're old enough. We won't want to matter. Better to fight. Yeah, the clock. Generation X after baby boomers, and that's what my brother is. He's a Generation X. He's born in 66. Baby boomers in 64. I was born in 61. My mother's not a baby boomer. My mother's from the Great Generation. Baby boomers started 46 or 48. And here's another thing to look at about baby boomers. Oh damn! Stick my whole hand in this thing. Okay. What's funny is, if you study World War II and what happened to the soldiers afterwards in the GI Bill, you can look at houses. I know Robbinsdale in this area is a big example of a neighborhood created for World War II veterans. I believe 3 million, and believe, but I think the number of soldiers that fought in World War II from America was 3 million men, I think. I could be wrong by, shortly, but 3 million men. And so these men came back, and these men needed homes. And you see these, like, if you see these little homes, they're about maybe 1,200 square feet. They're 2-bedroom, maybe 1 bath, maybe a bath in the basement, a finished basement. You can see these World War II homes. But Robbinsdale is a perfect example here in Minneapolis. And you guys probably have them in cities you live in too. Eight. Oh, my mom was born in the 40s. She was born in the 40s. I'm talking about the 60s. That would have been harder, saying you can't stop progress. My mom was born in the 40s. I am 80. Where are you going? I'm not going to care about what is going on in the world until I regenerate back. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Marquis Kiwa too. Her nickname is going to be Kui. My son goes by, I started when he's a baby, I called him Brin. The next life is for your well, I'll say this and I'll answer that. Yeah, my son, I named him after a girl I went to school with. That was one of her nicknames was Brin, and so I used that. His name was Brennan. But that was one of his first nicknames when he was little. I'd call him Brin Brin. From her. I kind of nicknamed him after her. My son, my oldest son, I was talking about can't write cursive. He's still, and he's matter of fact, this dude is he's a, what do you call it? The people that is over reading in schools that get the people to help. That's what he does now. He helps children how to read and write, but yet he can't read cursive or write cursive. So tells you how important that shit is. Ain't important. Imagine dying in 2080, then imagine how bad it would be, then dying again around 2051. No, I'm not going through that. That's not. I have the choice of what happens next. I mean, Bomber said something that I know. He was like, he knows where he's going. He's been there, and I think I know. I've been the same thing. I know where I'm going when I pass. It's already, when I meditate, I go there all the time. And so it's already open for me. So, and death comes so fast. It comes fast. It's you get hit by that bus. It's, movies try to show you, like the Sandman was showing people. It's like that. It really is. But in quantum science, you got to read all of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. You can't look at the paragraph and then say some bullshit. It prepares you, though. Tibetan Book of the Dead prepares you. And you shut down. It's when you die, you literally shut down everything. You shut down everything. You have, I'm not really a chakra person, but what you do is you have energies in you. You have worlds in you, and you have to shut all those worlds down. Starting from your grounding energies and going up, you shut all this down. And then as you die, you want to, and it's so fast. You just don't understand how fast death is. It's that shit. And to try to do all this it's hard. It is. But that's why you practice, it. And so you accept it. That's the problem. See, that's how you don't know how to shut everything down, is because you're like, I want more time. I'm going to miss somebody. I have these regrets. I wanted to. No. It's when it comes, fuck all that. Let's do it. Get me out of here. And one thing Sandman's showing is when the death comes to people, they walking somewhere. Now they tell you she's able to, make him disappear. But in reality, you ain't got to disappear because there's something that's going on afterwards. And it's what you got going on now. That's, what you are now. How you vibrate is how you continue. Man, hands take a beating in the winter. Just going outside, the shit is like, damn. So, how long I've been going? Okay, go a little longer. No, it's not that. It's not that, What are you going to do all day? It's no days, There's no days. The time is so different, when, as I was saying, that's what's wrong with Sandman, to say that this man got captured for only 100 years and his shit fell apart. That's ridiculous. If you understand how entities work, I mean, the stories tell you it's when you dream, when you astro travel, the time is so different. You can you can conquer all these lands in astro traveling, and you ain't been nowhere but 10 minutes. So to say that an entity can get captured and that what the entity left behind in 100 years is going to destroy what the entity, that's ridiculous. Because you can't compare the same times. It's no timeline that would be the same for entity compared to human timeline. That was just whoever wrote that, that's the simplest thinking shit ever. It's no way. That's some stupid part about it. I'm gonna tell you this, okay? The Sandman showed this part that I teach. If y'all listen to me long enough, I teach this part. What did I tell you about if you go with the Borgia? You die and then you see Borgia. And you take Borgia's hand. What do they show you in Sandman? Remember the ghost tried to hide in the dreamland? Remember that part in Sandman where the ghost goes and hides in the dreamland? And then the shit starts cracking. It's another show. Oh, gosh. I think I talked about that last time I came on. Where, again, You will seem like this shit is an eternity, but before you know it, this shit is getting eat up by something. Something is feeding on your heaven. And this is what that Borgia is going to lead you to. This is what belief, blind faith was lead you to. I mean, if you're blind in your faith, you're definitely going to be blind when you die. You're training yourself to be blind because you're blindly believing in something. Now, whatever you choose, know it. If you choose the Borgia, know the Borgia. But know it all. Don't know just one of the stories. Know it all. So you can stand there and use that. Because sometimes that Borgia can come there, you can put your arm around him and say, blast me off. And he has nothing, he can do nothing but blast you off. Because it's an energy that you can use. It's not useless. You're like, hey, I know a little more than you, but you can blast me off. It's like when they had the booster rockets. You can put your arm around Borgia's shoulder and he can blast you so far. And then at one point you can say, hey, Borgia, you helped me so far, but I can let you go. I can go where I wanted to go. Thank you for the boost. From beginning to end because of you. That's why Sandman was so smooth from beginning to end, because of you. Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's that part where the world is coming to an end with the ghost. I'm sitting there telling my woman, like, this is the shit I teach. Your heaven will leave you. It'll be invaded by something stronger than that. It can come and say, hey, you can't enjoy this no more. That's the point of, you got to create your own heaven. You got to do the necessary work to be real. Because when you're real, it never goes away. See, this is the problem with free will. Free will is Albert Pike. All right, this is a jab at my guys. Free will is Albert Pike. It ain't in the Bible. It ain't no holy book. It's Albert Pike. So there ain't no free will. That's some bullshit. That's Albert Pike. There's no free will. And free will, again, it's a fallacy. It's a fallacy to say you got a choice. It's your choice, good or bad, make your choice. It's a trick. Free will is a trick. It's a trick. It's like bad magic. It's a trick. It leads you into bad magic. Because you believe in Albert Pike. That ain't no holy book. That's a Mason. That's a Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan. Be misled. That's where a lot of this stuff is here to mislead you, to make you less real. And if you ain't real, damn, your energy can disappear because you never had energy to start with. So if you are not real, you never had energy. So yes, your energy will disappear. You'll die and poof because you wasn't real to begin with. That ain't hell. That's less than hell, way less. You just was never real. And like a video game, when the character's time is up, this time is up. You don't really die. You just disappear because you was never real to begin with. That's hell, that you was never real. To me, I look at that as hell. That you didn't do enough on this time to be real. So you just poofed. You know how you blow out a candle? That's it. That's all you contributed to this. Because you didn't want to do the work to be a real thing, to be real. You listened to all the bullshit. You got caught up in all the bullshit, so you was never real. Because what you brought in wasn't real. What you read, what you listened to, what you thought about. This is what makes you real. I mean, how many of you can cut off the TVs? Now, I'm a sports junkie, but that's it. I watch sports and I watch sports and then I watch the money. That's it. Now, my woman likes a lot of this other shit, so I've been watching more lately. Like she said, whatever that stripper show is, she was like, what do you think about it? I said, watching this shit made me stupider. She'll tell you that. That's what I said about that shit. Whatever that shit, something valley. I said, watching this shit made me stupider. And that's what you have to avoid. Watching shit that makes you stupider. So every day you got to do something that makes you real. So that when you do die, you have true energy to continue. Because death is like nothing I mean, they can't prepare you for that. Tibetan Book of the Dead give you the most, but you got to do that shit like this. I mean, it's like, okay, it's coming. Let's start shutting down. I mean, it's really that quick. Like, oh, it's here. Shut down. That's how you got to do it. Ah, it's here. Thank you. Not, damn, I want more time. And, oh, I'm going to miss everybody. They're going to miss me. You're fake. You're fake. And you're going to poof away. So you ain't going to get eternity. And so that's why. What do they tell you? How many billion of people live on the country, in the world? Billion of fake people. I bet if we looked at the amount of real people in this world, the numbers would be way down. Way down. It's like a video game. It really is. It's more fake people around you than real people. Now, I ain't saying they can't kill you. They can't lock you up. They can't fire you. They can't burn your food. I'm not saying none of that, because all that can be done in the game. But I'm saying for your own, the way you move through this, the way you are real. Pay attention to what you bring in mentally, what you read, what you bring in, what your beliefs are. And stick to these things. Beliefs. And I'm gonna put beliefs in what you regiment, your habits. I'll fill it with that word. Don't believe, but your habits. Because good habits can make you real. Discernment makes you real. Because you've got to learn that. Okay, you have a question? I have a question. Why every time I come up here, I start getting crazy with questions? People just disappear and get quiet. Please don't let me control the comments. I feel bad. Well, Jeffrey, I can answer that. People like what I'm saying, so they don't ask questions. Because when you're typing, you don't listen. When you're typing, you ain't really listening. When you're writing questions, you ain't really listening. I think that's what it is. I think sometime I can get to chopping and people can kind of get into what I'm saying. So they rather listen than question, and that's okay. But I'll say this, y'all. It's these people that are out here. Bomber, you may live in Costa Rica, but the gap is really small. Quantum, there ain't even no gap. Okay. Bomber and Quantum, you niggas still say at the end of the day, and you want to compare yourselves to me? You guys don't even know you repeat spells, and you supposed to be some deep spiritual teachers. Both you niggas say that shit. Both you niggas say that shit. I don't say that shit. I don't say at the end of the day. Both you niggas do, and you supposed to be these people that's so deep. That shit's funny to me, because y'all say that shit. I see spells. I don't repeat that. So it makes me know that I'm superior to both you niggas, whatever superior means. But I see spells and I don't repeat them. You niggas repeat that shit. Quantum of Science and Bomber, both you niggas repeat spells. I don't. End of the day, both you niggas is weak-minded to saying that. Wanted to get that out there. Y'all both weak for saying that shit. And y'all ain't where you think you are because you say spells. You tell all this shit, but you say spells. That's how weak-minded both you motherfuckers are. So I'm going to say that. Y'all both weak-minded because y'all say spells and don't break down spells. Bomber, you got all that money behind you and you say at the end of the day, you was backing that fucking fraud 17-year-old though. Remember that? Remember that? Look at the 17-year-old. He's selling what? And you know, I don't get this shit where motherfuckers talk shit about you and you niggas praise them. Zach, that nigga in New York said suck my dick because whatever, and you praised him. You and Derek fell out. I don't get that shit. Motherfuckers give you a little publicity and you run to these niggas. I don't run to none of y'all. I'm good where I'm at. But Bomber. I asked Brother Sanchez about you. You know what he said? Commercial. And I listened to you the other day. You praising this nigga. The nigga said you a commercial. That's what I asked the nigga about you. The nigga said he's a walking commercial. Yet you saying you fuck with him. Come on, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You can tell I'm full of myself tonight, but you can check me out. Y'all saw my record. They took my other shit down for some reason. I ain't crazy about Kanye. I talked about that shit a little bit, but none of this regular shit I want to talk about. None of that kind of shit I really want to talk about. Because that shit, what does it mean to me? And that's how you got to think is, what the fuck does it mean to you? Arthur told him to suck it there. So, you know, I take my breaks. He was 16. Who? Brian. What are you talking about, Brian? He was like 15. What? I think this shit don't make no sense. What are you talking about, Brian? Okay, fuck you for saying that. Okay, nigga, you gonna get in timeout. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Okay, fuck you. No, the boy was 17. Well, he's talking about two different things. Bomber backed that 17-year-old boy that was scamming Bitcoin. Now, as far as that other dude, it was the dude. What is the dude in New York's name? That rocks with Zach. He was all up 911 when Zach was up there. He was all in his face. And he was mad and emotional one time because Zach didn't give him his props. So, fuck what you talking about. Nigga, fuck what you talking about. Defend that nigga. Yeah, I know you don't give up. Fuck them. That's right. I told Kanye to say all that in the backstage. So, you know, nigga, defending that nigga. You let them niggas defend themselves. Let them defend themselves. They don't need defenders. I don't need nobody to defend me. I defend myself. So, all I'm just saying is I'm not going to talk shit about somebody and then be licking their ass because they around and they doing something. It's getting publicity. And then I got to jock ride them, you know? I got to jock ride them. And that's what we saw a lot of when Zach went across country. As I said, I invited Zach to stay in my home. I invited Zach. Zach, the reason we went to a Mall of America was because of me. I talked to this nigga. He was like, I'm going down to the Floyd shit. I'm like, what the fuck you going down there for? Ain't nobody down there. People don't go down there like that's a tourist place. I said, go out to the Mall of America. This nigga goes out to the Mall of America. I invited the nigga to dinner. This nigga doesn't have the common decency to say, hey, I'm at the Mall of America. Can you meet me out here? Because my woman said, is he coming to eat or he coming to stay? I said, well, when he called me back, either. This nigga doesn't even give me the common courtesy to say, hey, I'm out here rocking with these people. I'm going to move on after the words. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But the motherfuckers was rude, you know? I mean, I offer you hospitality and you ain't mad enough? You ain't mad enough to just say, hey, I'm meeting these people at the Mall of America. What, nigga, you think I'm at the Mall of America? I was just there a couple of days ago. So I live fucking 15 minutes away. So you don't think you can call me and just meet me at the Mall of America? Cool. This shows me motherfuckers funny. Motherfuckers funny. That's all. Motherfuckers funny. Don't hurt my pride one way or another, but it's a funny act. It's niggas that's funny acting. I ain't never told him to suck my dick and been disrespectful. That one motherfucker, he's disrespectful to Zach. Yet he's all in his face. So I rock with Zach's channel. He's the front runner educating people on the scenario of gematria. I ain't got no disagreement with that. Gematria ain't the only way, though. Me understand that. It ain't the only way. There's many different ways. If the person invites me to the Frank, there you go. There you go. There's no coming back from that disrespect. But, you know, again, motherfuckers seeing somebody getting publicity, they jump to it. Him and Derek and Zach ain't got along in forever. He goes to Wisconsin, Derek meets him. He goes to Milwaukee, where Marquette University is, he meets him. And then he goes to New York, and that one dude, whatever that brother's channel is, he's in Puerto Rico or some fucking place now, trying to raise money wherever the fuck that nigga is. You understand? Because Zach didn't give him some props. Like PJ be like getting out there like, you didn't say nothing about where I live. And simple ass shit. Simple niggas, you know, simple. But ain't no thing to me. Motherfucker didn't come over. Okay, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at him. I don't call him on the show anymore. That's about the only thing I can say is I don't call him on the show. It's been a couple years. I'll get bailed out. There you go. Zach came to Connecticut. Oh, he came to your area too? Damn. Okay. Well, Connecticut, New York ain't that far. But it's like any of y'all, you know, any of y'all want to come up here. You let me fucking know, you know. Again, Mall of America ain't that far. And that's the shit to see here. It's motherfuckers like to shop. I take you to outlet and then we go to the mall. So let me know. Let me know. And I don't still stay that far from the airport. Matter of fact, I stay a lot closer to the airport. The airport and the mall is right there together. You fly in, and when you start coming out, unless you going way north of the city, you go anywhere east or you go anywhere west, you're gonna see the mall. You just go west of the airport, you're gonna see the mall. Unless you stand in St. Paul somewhere. You go anywhere west, you'll see the mall. They're right there together. But we got two major airports here. So, and the Timberwolves is pretty good. Yeah, he was there, you know, as I said. If he would have just called me and said, you know, I'm coming to the mall, that wouldn't have been shit to do. Because we was sitting here, we bought some shit, you know, we was like, I don't know. My mom was like, what, should I cook or what? I was like, yeah, just cook for us. Because motherfucker ain't called. He ain't answered me. Because I told him, I was like, look, I had to work, but I took off. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get off. This nigga only come every once in a while, so I get off. And call him back. You know, once I get home, get settled, we start cooking, motherfucker don't answer. You know, it's as simple as that. He can't say he did, you know. So, and it wouldn't have been shit for him just to answer and say, I'm at the mall. You know. I hope y'all beat the Lakers. Yeah, they out the West Coast spring. They might be. Let me know, man. There's a lot going on next summer. I got a lot going on next summer, so you definitely let me know. Yeah, you come out this way, definitely let me know. They'll let me know. I got a lot going on next summer though, so it's a tight window. It's a lot going on next summer, but you know, because like now I'm saying I don't have things really quite settled. Everything is still kind of, some stuff's here, some stuff's there. So you know, yeah. You come up here, I'll show you what I do every day. Pretty casual, but we will definitely, if you come up here, well, baseball, I'll go to baseball games in a minute. So baseball is some of the most relaxing things. We got the Saints up here. We got a minor league team. It is a real chilled experience. Motherfuckers be knocking the balls out the stadium and shit. That shit is exciting. Like, damn, where that motherfucker go? He knocked that shit out over this mug. So I like that. But yeah, let me know for real though. You guys will be welcome, or I could set up accommodations for you. Well, almost 2 hours for not being on in a while. Kind of wound up. Yeah, I'm right at the 2 hours. Going to a baseball game in the summer is a must. Oh my goodness, I love baseball, but I saw the Saints play this year. Didn't get to see the Twins. Plus, the Twins was kind of like lost money on the Twins. Oh yeah, I mean it's I look at sports as a religion, and so the sacredness of just being in the park and understanding the part that's real still, because a lot of sports is fake, but there's certain parts that's real. Just sitting there enjoying it and being entertained, because that's how it was created, to be entertained, not to say if it's real or fake, to just be entertained. Whereas when you go to a movie, you're entertained. It's a movie. Well, sports is the same, and that's all we ask them to do, is be honest with the people, is that we go into a place to be entertained. I didn't see this World Series. They imploded the two best teams. The Yankees and the Dodgers were by far the two best teams. But what's his name for the Yankees? Every time you see him pitch, they're going to lose. What is his name? The third baseman for San Diego. They had to pump him up against the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers folded against Philly. But Philly got some good ass pitchers, Nola and Wheeler. That's them. Wheeler is the key to this World Series. Is Wheeler? He their best pitcher, so he's going to if Wheeler can pitch 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's down to game 6, Wheeler and McCullers. No, it'd be Wheeler and Naldez. Naldez. It'd be Wheeler against Naldez. Naldez can't beat Wheeler. If Verlander, I don't know how they're going to keep Verlander out of game 5. If Verlander has to pitch game 5, they are doomed. So just keep that in mind. He has to pitch, especially against Nola. Nola beat him in game 5. I think Nola's going to beat him in game 1, too. So that's my prediction right now. Is I'm going to give 1 and 2 definitely to Philly. I'm thinking McCullers and Javier are going to beat Suez and Syndergaard. I think it's going to be 2-2 going into game 5. That is my early pick. Definitely, Suez might. I'll tell you this: Suez might mess around and beat him. Syndergaard definitely not, unless the bullpen picks him up. So the way I'm looking at it now, I'm looking at 2-0 definitely. It's definitely going to be 2-0. Suez could be 3-0 facing Syndergaard. If they got to throw everything at them, the Phillies could win in 4. Because they've got a good bullpen. I would say the wild card of their pitchers is McCullers. He's the wild card. He's a hell of a pitcher, and he's the wild card because he could pitch game 3 and game 6, or if you put McCullers in game 7, yeah, Dusty might have a World Series. If McCullers could go game 7, again, he would probably be set up to pitch game 6. But if he could go game 7, that would give Dusty a chance. Verlander, forget it. He is not going to win shit. He is 0-6 in World Series. He's going to be 0 whatever. In game 1, he is definitely going to be 0-7 in game 1. Nola's going to win game 1. Wheeler's going to win game 2. Wheeler's probably going to win 4 or 5. But it could be Philly in 4, looking at this pitching lineup. Game 3 is the only one that scares me, is McCullers. None of them other ones scare me, but McCullers does. He is the only reason why I say it might not be a sweep, is because they are not going to be able to deal with McCullers. He's better. He's pitching better this time of year than the other two. So we'll see. Well, 2 hours. I can't do no more. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining me. And I can't give another time when I'm going to come on again, as I said. Getting this shit together and then trying to put all this. See, my lighting is not great. But I like the way the black granite vibrates. Really nice. So This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Hope you didn't mind my kitchen. Just trying a few different things. So till we meet again, say less.